After my second trip. When I returned home from the second trip to visit my mother, I kept in close contact with her counselor, Rashad. He and I talked about the release of information form that he had asked me to sign so that he would be able to talk openly with me about my mother. He calmed my concerns by explaining that he did not expect me to take any major responsibility for her. The form would just allow me to be able to call and learn how she is doing or if she needs anything. I finally decided to sign the paper. However, when I picked up the form to sign it, I realized it was not my signature he needed, but hers. She was the one who needed to grant permission for him to talk to me. I went ahead and signed it per his request. Then he also obtained her signature. Rashad answered his phone whenever I called, and he was always available. He listened attentively whenever I spoke. He provided me with great insight about my mother's mental condition. I appreciated him so much, until finally one day I called him on his cell phone, and he informed me he was no longer working for the center. He had been fired because, while he was great when it came to communicating with families, he struggled with some of the other aspects of social work, like documentation of the patient files. I told him how great I thought he was and that I would miss him. He was very knowledgeable about how to interact with families who are going through a crisis. Needless to say, I was saddened to learn of his departure. He was the only one who had actually answered his phone. Before I met the center staff, I used to call the office numbers, but the phones constantly went unanswered. When I met the center manager, Donna, she told me no one ever answers the office phone and gave me her cell phone number. I felt like I would finally be able to call and actually talk to someone. After going back home to Kansas City, she answered my call twice and then she stopped altogether. Therefore, at this time, I have no one at the mental health treatment center to talk to about my mother's status. The boarding home staff are still available, however. When I returned home from the second trip, Elsie had not yet given me the results from searching my siblings' names and dates of birth. Therefore, I sent a revised email to her including the new hospital information. With this additional information, I was feeling more and more encouraged that she would be able to locate my siblings in her database. However, 1 week later, Elsie finally sent me a response letting me know that her agency did not handle any adoptions for my siblings. She told me that another agency might have handled their adoptions. I felt surprised yet disappointed that even with all of the information I had, she was still unable to locate them in her database. However, as she said, another agency may have handled their adoption. For now, I have given up on searching for the 4 children my mother had after she left.
If you enjoyed this story, please like this video and subscribe to our channel.